everyone. This is Andy Hall. What a treat we have today. Today on The Late Show, we have a couple of great Boston area artists, and we're going to be showing a couple of film, a short, clever, comical film. We're going to be doing some music. We're going to be talking music. And I'm very excited. I worked on this comedy short, music video a couple of weeks ago, and I just wanted to share with you, with the team, with part of the team that made it, that helped create it. Before we get into the business at hand, I just want to say congratulations to these two lads over here. This is Harley Neville and Guy Pigden. They were on the show maybe a half a year ago. They made their movie Older, which is streaming on Amazon Prime the last time I checked, and they've been quite successful. They've been quite successful with this movie. They've had 300,000 downloads, watched 300,000 times. And if you watched our interview, they made this on a shoestring budget. I forget how much it was, maybe 15,000 New Zealand dollars. But congratulations, Guy and Harley, for being successful. How difficult is it to be successful in an artist at the same time? We're going to find out with our guests, because here we have Greg Cherone. Greg, did I butcher up your name, sir? Your last name?
No, all good.
All right. Robert Clapp. Hello, Robert.
Hey, how you doing there, Andy? You got the last name wrong.
I got the last name wrong.
You pronounced it beautifully. Perfect.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
With my horrible Boston accent. And Kevin Anderton, of course, the Grand Vizier of Midnight Chimes Productions, sir. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing okay. So I got the movie. I got our short music video, Monkey Bizness, and I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it to everyone so everyone has a basic idea about what we were doing. And so I'm going to do some pushing of the buttons here. And cue it up. Excellent.
Sugar, come in, even I don't know it. Not sure what's the matter. Watching brainwaves scatter. Something here shady. Rise up now, don't blame me. Condition chronic, jungle phonic. Sound like monkey business. Watch yourself, I ain't playing. No time for monkey business. Your monkey business. No sale for monkey business. No sale for monkey business. You gotta watch that behavior, cause I'm not your savior. No matter how you spin it, there's nonsense in it. Understand my frustration, could use a vacation. Condition chronic, jungle fight, sound like monkey business. What you're selling, I am buying. No time for monkey business. No monkey business. No sale for monkey business. No sale for monkey business. You talk that talk, you walk that walk. I want it here. You better knock it off. Eventually, you must evolve. Then and there, problem solved. monkey do should King Kong beat, get you moving along now. Like you see, monkey do should give me why. King Kong beat, get you moving along now. Moving along now, moving along now. King Kong beat, get you moving along now. Your monkey business. Jungle fight, sound like monkey business. What you say? I ain't fighting the time for monkey business. Your monkey business. No sale for monkey business. No sale for monkey business. Your monkey business. Your monkey business. You try to make a monkey. Your monkey business. A monkey out of monkey business.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun, guys.
Still not sick of it.
What's that?
Still not sick of it.
No.
So many times, I'm still not sick of it.
So if you're just tuning in, everyone, we have, and you know what? I forgot to do the intros to everyone and to talk about what kind of great resumes you have. So I'm just going to do it now. If you just saw the video, that's Monkey Bizness, a video that I was lucky enough to be an extra in. I got to play some kind of money grubber, which and maybe a Republican too. Maybe I had a red hat on, which I was very happy with.
That's right.
So just to go over who's here, Kevin Anderton. Kevin is a Boston-based filmmaker with a Master's of Fine Arts from Boston University Film Program. He specializes in short films with over 35 million views on the internet. That sounds like a lot, Kevin.
Yeah, but I'm doing it a long time, though.
Won the Boston Comedy Festival twice and programmed in many festivals, NBC cable programs, etc. Greg Cherone is a singer-songwriter from Boston, Massachusetts. He has performed in local bands and acoustic duos over the years. His latest song collaborations are with singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist Robert Clapp, which just leads us to Mr. Robert Clapp. He is a singer-songwriter, producer based in the Boston area and has teamed with multiple songwriters. His most recent collaboration with Mike Cherone, Monkey Bizness, is a single on their soon-to-be released album coming midsummer. Gentlemen, do you have a drop date for your album?
We're looking at, oh gosh, mid-July. We're shooting for mid-July.
Well, that's pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're almost ready to start uploading in the digital realm of Spotify.
Oh, right. So I have to ask you, and this, you guys can, any one of you can field this question, and you can all just chip in it when you feel comfortable. How did Monkey Bizness happen? How did the video?
Yeah, well,
let's see. So Greg reached out to me out of the blue. I had never met him before, and he said, "Hey, I hear you're a local filmmaker. I'm a musician. I want to get a video made." And I said, "Send me some stuff." And I think you sent me 6 or 7 things.
Did I send you that many songs? Yeah, probably.
And I thought that Monkey Bizness was the one that most spoke to me. I hadn't come up with a video for it yet, but so we agreed on that one. I listened to it maybe like 10 times at work, and I came up with a rough draft of the script, sent it to Greg. He liked it, put another draft together, and here we are.
It's interesting because Robert and I, we create these songs, we release singles, and of course we need a vehicle. So because everybody wants to watch it, they want to see the music, and so we were making videos on our own, and we thought Monkey Bizness was very special in terms of being a fun kind of a song. And we're in the midst of the pandemic, and there was we thought, let's try to get some student filmmakers to help us, and we're not getting anywhere ourselves. I mean, we were making a decent videos, but we wanted something more to it. And so I started scouring the internet for local students and things like that. And of course, Kevin's name came up. There was a connection in Malden. So I thought, okay, let's give this guy a try. And I did my research, and he had all these funny short videos all over YouTube, and I thought, well, this is the guy. So I just, out of the blue, like he said, I just gave him a call, and the ball started rolling from there.
Right. So Kevin, because this is a story that you're telling in the video,
Sure.
did you have difficulty piecing all of it together, or did it just come out whole cloth?
It just came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, with what things are going on today and all the craziness and stuff like that, I just said, Monkey Bizness, internet, let's do this. Now, it started as a little more ambitious because I wanted to do it as more of a time travel with costume changes and stuff like that. But then we just cut back a little bit and just went. We picked three good scams and we stuck with them.
Good. That's fantastic.
And you built a hell of a set, Kevin. Hell of a set.
That's the easy part,
Yeah.
I just want to say,
but that really brought it to life. I mean, really, that was pretty amazing being on that set. So
I didn't believe it actually until like the day of or the day before we had a little rehearsal. But the fact that Kevin pulled all this together and there was going to be 9-10 actors. It was really hard to believe, but we kept the faith and we showed up and certainly everyone else did. And it was so much fun to do, and I hope that comes across.
I think it does. I might be biased since I was actually there. So Kevin, how many people in the cast and crew altogether?
Let's see. I think there was 4 people in the crew, and probably 5, 6, 7, probably 11 people in the cast. You doubled up.
Yeah.
Thanks, by the way.
Sure. Well, I'm just multi-talented like that. I'm very good at standing, sitting, and being greedy with fake money. I'm good.
Well, I think you stole that whole scene.
That was fake?
The Nigerian tax scheme. You stole that whole scene.
Well, it's my years at Juilliard, my training there, of course, that just shone through.
Well, I mean, every time Sonia, who's the woman that receives the money first, every time she's on the screen, I just laugh. She's so naturally funny. It really.
Yeah, there were shots that just had to be in. They just like those little moments, like that's got to get in. That's got to get in. It was.
Right.
She was quite a character. She's quite a character.
Yeah, very expressive face.
I think she stole the scene. You both stole the scene.
Yeah. Whenever I am on camera, I'm always happy to let other people steal the scene. That's how I look at it. I've always been more of a behind the camera. I'm just here to write stuff. But if you need me, I'll show up and I'll do things, I'll be the archetypal Boston white guy, right? That's what I'm happy to be. I just want to say hello to everyone in the chat too, by the way. Tobin Templeman, who's also a musician from Texas. Hope you're doing well tonight, Tobin. B, I'm going to be on B's channel on Monday. B's going to be interviewing me at 8:30 Eastern, and tons of mice. A lot of monkey references in the chat too, by the way, early on, because of J. Fred Muggs, which I guess is a chimpanzee that was a performer during the 40s and the 50s. I know, I had to look him up too. J. Fred Muggs right there. MC Fractal, Slade Chimera, and everyone, I just want to let you know that Kevin's site, Kevin's YouTube channel, Midnight Chimes, is in the description below. The video, the particular link to the Monkey Bizness video is also in the description. And Simply Secular Dave, MC Fractal, I hope everyone's doing well tonight. That was Andy. Well, that was me, some of that there, Mikey Famine. I was definitely not the star of the show. These 3 gentlemen are, and I'm very happy to have them on tonight with me. So guys, through the process, what did you learn, if anything, doing the video, doing the whole video experience? And I'm going to contribute first by saying that I hadn't been on a set for a while, and I had already known this, but it was something that's like, oh, now I remember what hurry up and wait means.
Yeah.
So did you learn anything new? Did you discover something that you didn't think that you would find out while doing this, going through the process?
Well,
Robert, you want to go first?
yeah, I go first. So, I mean, it's been a while, but I have a theater background, so I've done a lot of plays and musicals and all sorts of stuff. I went to Emerson and got a BFA, actually in musical theater, which I never did anything with it, but that was my specific major with the communication minor, and so when you're on stage, it's once through, right? And I've never been in anything like a video like this, except for the stuff that Greg and I put together. I think, hearing Kevin's direction and kind of like, it's relatively speaking, it's small scale, right? But what I really appreciated was watching Kevin, watching the people around him that were helping, and I could, although it was very small scale, I could hear larger scale in his voice and in his direction. And I just learned a lot watching him. Also, when you're the note of try and be in your place at the same time every run through. Make sure your hands aren't up here when they were down here before, because it makes the editing process really challenging. So, I took a lot of notes like that, and and I have a personal interest in trying to do more with editing and making movies potentially someday. So it was just, I was kind of soaking in the experience of someone that's done it before. So that's what I would have to say.
Soaking in the experience, is that code for thinking to yourself, man, that Kevin's a jerk telling me to do the same thing 50 different times?
Yeah, no, definitely not. But it's it makes sense, especially in the editing room.
Yeah. Greg, did you learn anything new or discover something while you're doing the process?
I did. I sure was a learning experience, because I have a lot of experience performing on the stage with getting a song across. But here, Kevin's direction was great, because I had, he's telling me to tone it down and not to play to the 22nd row, which is what you do when you're on the stage. Well, what I like to do anyway. And I think for me, the challenge was to keep the energy up every time, every take. And so that was certainly a learning experience. And Kevin was great, because, even with the script, if we had a problem with something, we could take him aside and say, I'm uncomfortable with this. And he's just really, he's not like, it's got to be this, he was open to suggestion, but ultimately, it was like, we're going to do it this way. and he's great with people, and he's great with the actors. And I felt very comfortable on the set. So it certainly was a learning experience. We're actually, we're trying to get Kevin to maybe help us with another one. So we'll see.
That's high praise, Kevin. Don't let it get to your head.
No.
Also, go ahead, Kevin.
I've done so many videos, not music videos. This is my first foray alone in music videos. I've helped with other people's stuff. So, it was definitely different. It was definitely like the playback. When we first did the playback, I thought, oh boy, this is going to be strange. But these guys were great. They put up with it. We made our mistakes early, and then we polished everything out. We finished earlier than I thought. And I think we got everything we needed. I don't think there was a shot that we sat down later and said, oh, darn, if only we had got this. And all the actors, they were enthusiastic. And a lot of them I had known from films before. Some were new. And these guys were terrific. Some of one of the concerns when we first put together the script was Greg didn't want Robert to be left out in the shots, in the scenes. And if you watch it and you feel they really have a camaraderie in each scene. And it's almost like Robert's his like inspires his bad behavior, like literally pitching money, getting him to give his heart, and all this stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
Right, right. Was there difficulty telling this story? Because I know that you've done a bunch of films, Kevin, that weren't musical, that weren't, music videos. Was it difficult telling the story in this kind of format?
No, I don't think so. I think it translated pretty well. But I mean, the weird thing is I'm doing this to his lyrics rather than scripting something. And I think the lyrics played in really well to what was going on the screen.
Absolutely. I have to agree on that. And, it's kind of weird when you have someone come in and interpret. And when I spoke with Kevin on the phone, I was like, you have complete control of the script and please listen to the song and total artistic license. And certainly he just went off with the lyrics kind of have a framework, but he certainly has to be given credit for that creativity. And I thought it was just a fun, edgy, kind of wonderful script to accompany this silly song.
Right. Have you, I mean, we've all worked with people that maybe haven't been a good fit for us, that you could trust. It must feel really good working with a team that you can just say that just listen to the music and we trust what you're going to be doing.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think everyone's so professional. Kevin had some coffee and candies and sandwiches and made everyone on the set feel comfortable. And I got to meet some of the actors briefly, but they were very cordial and just a fun experience. I look forward to maybe doing this again sometime because
Cool.
Kevin can assemble a great crew, and there was I don't remember any kind of conflict on the set, which I was expecting because egos flare and it was really just wonderful.
Cool.
To be part of.
I've been searching for work. I'm like floating around. We just came out of the apocalypse, the coronavirus apocalypse. I'm fully vaccinated, and I've been looking around for work. And I've only been looking around for about a month for a serious job. And in my time, I've encountered, and Kevin knows this, I've encountered 2 scams and a bait and switch, in which I thought I was applying for one job, but it actually turned out to be another multi-level marketing program. Have any of you experienced that kind of, let's say, monkey business on the internet personally?
Yes, absolutely.
That was fast, Robert.
What's that?
That was fast. You want to talk about that?
Oh yeah. Well, so I can't say I've ever fallen for one where I went down a path and lost something like personally, but I've definitely been on the front end of multiple. At my work, it happens almost on a daily basis where people are getting emails. I'm in a management position, so people are getting emails from their manager, supposedly me, asking them do they have a minute, and if they engage with them, next thing that they know, they're going to Target and buying gift cards and scratching them off and giving them the over the internet and showing the receipt, and it actually happened to a person in our company where they fell for it. I mean, crazy, but it happens. So yeah, and just go in our junk mail, right? It's all there. Wow. But so not not personally where I lost a lot over it, but
sure. I've heard of those scams before about, and I think Kevin and I were talking about one of them about going out to get gift cards from wherever, and then scratching off and doing photographs and sending them so that they can be cashed in from who knows who's on the other side of that. Yeah. Yep. How about you, Greg? Have you had firsthand experience with?
Well, I I don't think I've never been catfished, but I don't know how true that is. But my wife, she knows that sometimes I'll talk to girls on the internet, and so it's a little weird how Kevin kind of chose that as one of the vignettes. But I suppose I can relate to that a little bit. But I am married and I am faithful. But I do talk to all kinds of people on the internet who may or may not enjoy the songs. Some of them don't, and I deal with those people too. But yeah, I certainly that certainly hit home with me. So Kevin kind of maybe struck a chord on that one with me.
Yeah. How about you, Kevin? You ever been scammed or attempted to be? Anyone attempt to scam you?
No, not really. The one that comes to mind for me is, so my wife is a lawyer and a broker, and she had a guy from China that wanted to buy a house. So he sent her $1 million check, and then at the last minute he said, "Oh, my plans have changed. Tell you what, wire me $950,000 back and keep the other 50." And she's like, "Oh, I didn't even deposit your checks yet. Sorry." So the scam is essentially you wire back the money and then all the checks bounce.
Right.
And you're left holding the bag. So
right. That was one of the scams that it was a dog walking scam, and that they wanted me to buy them all this. Yeah, it was just silly. Craigslist. It was a Craigslist. Who would have thought there'd be a scam on Craigslist?
yeah, and who imagine that people would kill people on Craigslist, for scamming them,
Tons of Mice says, I'm looking for a real job right now. Lots of scams. Haven't bought any gift cards, though. Well, Tons of Mice, if you were going to buy some gift cards, you could always send them in my direction, sir.
I'll take some photographs and send them.
Right. Good. I
think Kevin really tapped into the monkey business, that the internet, just the whole deception of that the internet plays into, or that certainly people can take advantage of. And I mean, there's just no end to it. You hear about all these kinds of scams that are still happening,
Oh, yeah. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to stop soon. It seems to be a lucrative business. Getting gift cards, people sending large checks to scammers. There seems to be a lot of money in it. If you can find it's unscrupulous, of course. It's wrong. It's illegal. But yeah, I don't see it going away anytime soon.
I particularly like when Kevin had the section with the politicians, because he went after both sides of the aisle, and certainly they're both responsible for a lot of the stuff that's done.
Yeah, well,
I mean, absolutely. I mean, certainly they deserve to be swiped at.
Yeah. I want to pivot for a minute, and there was a video that I found on Greg's Facebook page of a duet between you, Greg, and Robert, and it's exquisite. It's an exquisite song, and I wanted to share it with all of you in case you wanted to get a little bit more flavor of what these two guys do musically. I found it pretty awesome, to tell you the truth. And now I get to hit a couple of buttons, and hopefully the video won't chop, because it's a great song, everyone. This is a great song I'm going to share with you. All right, let's see what will happen.
Girl, you never forget. When it's something more than physical. Lightning strikes a miracle. Nothing's what it seems. Want to know all her hopes and dreams. And still, that face, time won't erase. Who could replace the girl you never forget? Girl, you never forget. And yet, I'll bet they'll be regret if you just let her slip away, away, away. Another time and place might be more practical. Moments like this are not so tactical. Is this an opportunity you seize? Or memory you ultimately freeze? And still that face time won't erase. Who could replace the girl you never forget? Girl you never forget. And yet I'll bet there'll be regret if you just let her slip away, away, away. Girl, you never forget. Girl, you never forget. And yet I'll bet there'll be regret if you just let her slip away, away, away. Oh, girl, you never forget. Girl, you never forget. And yet I'll bet there'll be regret. No, 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 today. No, 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 not today.
Wow. It moved me. It moved me, guys. I thought that was wow. I can't say wow enough. Yeah.
I think that's one of the best things we've done, Robert. What do you think?
Yeah, that was fun to do the whole image of the microphone being in every shot. You watch it back and go, I wish the camera was in the same place so the mic never moved. But like it was a really it was a fun one to do, and the black and white, and it just sort of fell into place really quickly once we started filming it.
So who writes the lyrics? Do you guys both write the lyrics together? How does that work out?
I think what's safe to say that I write a line and then Robert writes the next line, and then we just go. It just kind of, snowballs like that.
Wow, you really have the vibe.
Greg's being modest.
Oh, okay.
So what happens? Come on, Greg. What happens is Greg will write the song. I mean, I think it's a pretty freaking cool process, and I don't know many people that work like this, but he'll actually write the lyrics and the melodies, sing them into a voice note, and send them to me just without any music in the background. And then what I do is I build a song around that voice note. And oddly enough, it usually is close to in key what he's doing, so I can actually hit that key because it's a comfortable range for him. And so the songs evolve like that, and then I'll add background vocals and start building instrumentation. And Monkey Bizness was actually probably the funnest song, I think, musically that I've worked on with Greg, just because there's so much happening, and you get a little R&B in there. I mean, it's just little Jackson 5 pops out every now and again, and it's not necessarily planned, which is also kind of cool. What I get from Greg, he always says, well, where do you hear this? I said, you're sending me this melody and I'm just building what I'm hearing around it. Like, it's kind of like what you're giving to it is what I'm building around it. So I don't always know if I do what he's hearing, but it seems to always work out pretty well.
And I might add that Robert plays all the instruments, records, engineers. He wears many, many hats.
Wow, that is. And so Robert, were you a musical prodigy? Were you a wunderkind when you were younger? Just picking up instruments?
Yeah, no, I didn't start picking up guitar till really till college, and it just writing songs. If I'm I don't know what's the word you used. If I'm a what?
A wunderkind, prodigy,
Wunderkind.
one of the prodigy
German.
people.
Definitely not a prodigy, but writing songs has always come really easy, and it just I don't know. If you know anything about astrology, I'm all water and no earth in me, so I just go with the feeling, So yeah.
I have one. No, I want to ask,
Did
girl.
anyone hear the Beatles influence in that?
Oh yeah.
That last song? No?
Yeah.
Wait.
A little bit?
No, I can feel that.
Beatles
Yeah.
right here. No? Okay.
Absolutely.
Is that on an album? Is Girl You Never Forget? Is that on the next album? Is that on something you already have out?
That's what we've been doing is releasing singles, and when we get to 11, we're gonna compile them and upload the album online. But it's going to be on the album that we release very, very soon.
Cool.
Yep.
So Robert, I want to ask you if it's okay if I play this. I was on your Facebook page because, believe it or not, I do a little bit of research before I have people come on, and I saw this song that you did for first responders during the depths of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And oh my fictitious God. It is. I'm looking. See, this is how passionate I feel about it. I'm looking at you on the screen as against in the camera, which I should be looking in the camera. But I'm going to look at you right now. Freaking incredible, brother. Can I play that?
Yeah, sure. My wife. Just the little background on it is my wife is a nurse, so that's definitely partly what inspired it. So
yeah, everyone, this is a treat. I mean, the whole episode's been a treat so far because my goal here on the channel is to have people smarter and more talented than me come on and talk and say fun and smart things. And so this is just another fantastic episode. And this is an incredible song by Robert. And once again, I get to hit like magic buttons and you get to see me make faces while I do it. It's gripping live show. That's what this is. All right. Let's see if we can make this happen.
It was long, long ago, last Saturday night. We could walk anywhere underneath the lights, side by side, no end in sight. Do anything, climb any heights. Open was the world to see, endless possibilities. Future bright, clear starry night. Then something changed, faded out of sight. Then they told us we had to go inside. Separate, it's coming wide. Coming from the eastern side. Moving fast, gonna be a ride. Stayed at home to work it through. How long, no one knew. Back and forth, emotions high. Asked ourselves, are we gonna get by? Everything's changed in one moment, at the mercy of this name. What's been stolen, it's insane. But we're not broken. I can see the time coming when we're out of this sheltering place. Will we see the sweet release? Hope we do when we're out of this place. And I know bombs aren't dropping and our lives aren't stopping, but things may never be the same. And it seems so jarring, and the house is barring, hoping we'll get out of this place. Shelter in place. Shelter in place. We waited for the storm to clear. Counting numbers, how'd we get here? Familiar names and faces dear. In the feeds of those we care. Now we're here, it's on the rise. Facing monsters in disguise. Many questions, many whys. Conquering fears, I hear the cries. Rearranged in one moment. Will the world ever be the same? We're all holding on to hope. It remains. This is our moment. I can see the time coming when we're out of this sheltering place. Will we see the sweet release? Hope we do when we're out of this place. And I know bombs aren't dropping and our lives aren't stopping. Things may never be the same. And it seems so jarring, and the house is barring, hoping we'll get out of this place. Hoping we'll get out of this place. Hoping we'll get out of this place. This sheltering place. Sheltering place. This sheltering place. This sheltering place.
Wow. Once again, very moving. Very moving. Job well done. Job well done.
Thank you.
And this is a question for all three of you. When you create something and when you decide you're going to put time and energy into a project, do you create something that's going to sell, or do you just create it for something, or do you just, it comes from in here and you hope it sells? And anyone can go first. This is just an open question.
It's an interesting question. Creating something to sell versus creating something that is professionally done and could sell to whatever crowd it would be attracted to it. Like, you know, I think I was doing an album a few years ago, and the guy said to me, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I want to create something that maybe it's never going to win a Grammy, but I know that it could. You know, like that it has that quality and it has that depth and it has." You know, that energy and effort has been put into it where, you know, it could, even though maybe no one will ever hear it. So that's kind of the way I approach it. And so I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to that. But with Greg's stuff specifically, I haven't been writing for it to go mainstream like pop. You know, a couple of the songs may sound poppy. Some might sound a little old schooler, and some may sound current. I mean, it's just a mixture.
Interesting. How about you, Kevin? When you're putting time and energy into a project, is it something that comes from in here, or is it something that you're thinking, oh, this is gonna get me clicks and views and you know, likes?
Well, I think it's a little bit of everything. I mean, when I write stuff, I like to hear people laugh. One of my favorite things out of my career has been sitting in large audiences and just hearing people laugh at my work. And it's always different. There's sometimes people laugh at things that other people don't laugh at. And the next show, people will be laughing at the thing that nobody else laughed at. It's very strange. But I mean, a lot of times I'm either trying to tell a story or project like silliness into the future and that sort of stuff. And but I do write stuff to sell. I have sitcoms and features and things like that. But you just never know. So you have to make stuff that you want to make, and write stuff that you want to write, because you're putting time in. It has to be fun. It has to be interesting.
Right. It has to hold your own attention, right?
Yep.
because some of these projects can go for, I mean, writing a script, for a full-blown script. And you've made a lot of videos on your channel, Midnight Chimes, and I imagine you have to be passionate about the project, one way or the other.
Yeah, because otherwise it's not going to get done, because basically a lot of the times it's just you carrying it the whole way through. And if you're not interested, it'll die out. And I've had stuff that I never finished, stuff that, wound up never making it out of the cutting room for whatever reason, be it money, time, energy, or not the right person working on it. And it's an endeavor. It really is.
Yeah. Greg, same question. When you're investing time and energy, is it something that is strictly something that comes from in here, or is it something that you're thinking about, I can make some cash off this, or I can progress my career?
It's interesting, the conflict of commerce and art, but I think bottom line is, am I happy with it? Do I feel good about this? Does it come from the heart, or am I expressing is there any integrity here? And if I feel that, then I'm already successful, because that's the barometer right there. If Robert and I feel really good about these songs that we're releasing, that's the reward in itself. We don't think about, oh well, let's make a record and sell 1 million records. You can't. I don't think like that. I don't think I ever have. I've never sang for money. Singing in the clubs, and most of the time you're singing for free.
Yeah.
And but if you it's very gratifying to do what Robert and I do, and certainly I think Kevin must feel that with his creations. There's no price on it. You can't really. It's your creation, and there's no better feeling in the world than to create.
Yeah.
And particularly when someone likes it, when they like what you do, and that's the reward is in itself, I think.
Another question for the three of you: is the best thing you ever did artistically the most popular thing? Because I'll tell you, the most popular thing that I ever did took me about 20 minutes to do, and it reached millions of people. And
Inspired.
I think I just got lucky, to tell you the truth. It wasn't the best thing I ever did. I've worked on projects that I put a lot of effort in, and I'm like, oh, people are gonna love this, and nothing.
Yeah.
For example, I want to single out Kevin here for a minute. Kevin has a video called Miracle Hose, and it's probably the most popular, I think the most abused, and I don't know, is that, I was wondering how Kevin felt about that, since that's one of his most successful shorts. How does he feel about how that went over, and is it his best work? And I'm gonna try to interview Kevin here.
Yeah.
So Miracle Hose is interesting because it's the first under 3 minute short that I did after grad school. And I had done a 30-minute screwball comedy as my thesis, and it did okay, but it was hard to program because it was 30 minutes. So then I did a 15-minute short called First, Last, and Security that was a lot of fun, and people really liked it, but again, hard to program. So I decided I was going to make 10 under 3 minute short comedies so I could be programmed everywhere. And this was the first one of them. And it's done the best in terms of views, although I think it's like on YouTube, it's the highest, but there's been other places these things have been. Like Mask of the Ninja, I think which is one of my favorites, that had like around 5 or 6 million views in different places. But Miracle Hose runs every year when spring comes. And I always The Onion ripped it off.
I saw that, dude. I saw that the other day, and I'm like, "That's Kevin's bit."
and it's fun. It's funny. For me, it was a chance to work with to try to build actors to do the 10 shorts. There's a part in it that I didn't even understand that was kind of ad-libbed, and I didn't think it was funny, and the editor put it in, and I still didn't think it was funny, and it screamed, and everyone roared at it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I get it now. And I was like, oh, it is funny. But I've done better stuff since, because I've become, more mature and more qualified at this. But I still get orders for it.
Mm.
People still want to buy the Miracle Hose.
Well, it's so wonderful because it's a miracle hose. Who doesn't want one?
But I mean, it's fun. People laugh at it. It's silly.
You had me going. I mean, with the technology today, you had me going. I thought it was real.
Yeah, well, selling fake products, I could do that all day. But I mean, it's fun. It's not my best, but it's done one of my best, which is interesting. Right. But I guess that's a good way to start off, right?
Yeah.
I've done almost 75 shorts, so
that's impressive.
And I could go on and on forever. And I'm glad to be doing it again after a short hiatus. So
right. So Robert, the best thing you ever did, was that the most popular thing?
Yeah, I think so. Shelter in Place probably has the most views out of anything I've done, and for me, just the whole process from start to finish was kind of the most fulfilling, and I guess thus calling it the best. I think as an artist, you do things, and sometimes you know you're in the way, right? And Shelter in Place, I was completely out of the way. And it just rolled out. I mean, that from start to finish, that video was done 3 days after I wrote the song. And it was, I had a friend sent me a riff, just like a guitar riff. And I took that guitar riff and I turned it into Shelter in Place. And so, yeah, I mean, it was, yeah, I'd say so. I'd say definitely.
Cool. So, lads, we're heading down towards the end of the hour. I always love to ask this question around this time. Is there a question you wanted me to ask you, but I didn't? Was there a topic you wanted to touch on, but we didn't get around to it? And this isn't about where people can find you online, but in terms of a subject matter. And anyone can jump in whatever they want to. I mean, so is there something you wanted to talk about, but we just didn't get around to it?
I think.
Go ahead.
Go, Greg. No, go ahead.
I was hoping that you would ask about the pandemic. Okay, there we go.
Oh,
I said it.
You said it, right. Well, I can say that
Greg, I have my Pianon shirt still. If you
now, who was that? You was that the host?
I am not. I was not the Pianon guy.
No, it was
you were one of the politicians. You were the Republican.
I was one of the red hats, grubbing for money. Yeah, pandemic. I could say happily that I'm fully vaccinated, and I have been for a while, and that my children are too.
So who's next?
Yeah, who's next?
No, I was just gonna say I thought maybe a question would be asked about the origin of like the song musically, because it's kind of a cool story. Greg basically says to me something like, "Hey, do you know the King Kong beat?" And he said he wanted me to write. He gave me the lyrics. She's like, "I want you to use the King Kong beat." And I had heard of the King Kong beat, but I didn't know how to play it. Really, I mean, off the top of my head, I wouldn't have remembered what it sounded like. So I'm like, "Oh, okay. I'm not really a drummer, but we'll give it a go." And so like I'm sitting there like on YouTube, like trying to like get just the basics of the drum beat of what is this King Kong beat, and it's really, really hard to play. But that was the origin of the song. Him just.
Can I just add something here? Now, this will date me, but that's okay. In the 70s, there was a Native American band called Redbone. And they had a song called Prehistoric Rhythm and That King Kong Beat. And there was a drummer in the band. His name was Pete DuPont. And he really invented this. He invented this rhythm. And there's no copyright on drum beats, as far as I know. So, I came in with this idea for Monkey Bizness, and I said, Robert, you've got to incorporate the King Kong beat. And so we did some research, and there's some videos on YouTube, and all these great drummers just fascinated with this rhythm because it's a simple rhythm, but there's so many places you can go with it. And that's one of the origins of Monkey Bizness. So I wanted to share that little bit of about Redbone.
Sure.
Yeah.
What makes the King Kong beat so difficult to beat?
It's just weird timing. It's just, you're, I mean, I'm sitting there doing it on a keyboard, and I'm literally having to do the bass first and then do the hi-hat. And so it was that complicated. You couldn't just go boom, 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 boom. It was just very, 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 very challenging to play. It's not natural. And I also have to, what's that?
So tell me if I'm wrong on this. And this goes for any kind of art, I think, from my plebeian point of view over here, is that it defies expectations, right? So you're building up a story, whether it's musically or on the page in terms of a script, but there has to be twists and turns. So you're saying basically is that this King Kong beat has very funky or very unexpected twists to it.
Well, yeah. Well, the whole, you could just play one measure of the beat, and it's just unexpected where you're landing the notes. Absolutely. Yeah. The other thing I have to be sure to do, because I haven't done this yet, is I have to thank Kevin because, sorry, Greg, he saved me from running around on a beach in a gorilla outfit. Thank you.
When I heard that was the plan, I was like, "Oh no, let's not do that. I think at that point, I think we were I had the music. I said I had an idea, and I wouldn't share it yet with you guys. And I think you guys got a little downtrodden and thought that I either didn't have anything or that we wouldn't come up with something. So there was okay, we're gonna just gonna hit the beach in a monkey suit and do that. And I was like, no, it's coming. And I have such a hectic life that it used to be that I could find 15, 20 minutes to sit down and write something, but it's almost impossible now.
Yeah. Was there something, Kevin, that you wanted to touch on that we just didn't get around to?
I like next stuff up for everybody. I think that's so they sent me a new song, which I love, and I'm learning the lyrics on it. And then once I have that set, I'm going to sit down and probably paint a room and come up with the next video for them.
I just want to publicly state that Kevin has agreed to do 11 videos for our album.
Nice.
Wow.
No, I'm playing.
That's fantastic. Well, gentlemen, thanks for coming on Laughing in Disbelief YouTube channel. Where can people find you online? Kevin, they can find you over at Midnight Chimes Productions.
Yep, and behind any dumpster. Yeah.
That's between you and the Vice Squad, sir.
Oh, true. Yes.
Robert, where can people find you online?
My Facebook page, Robert Clapp, has a lot of stuff that I've done and some things that Greg and I have done together. My YouTube, but I mean, really, Greg is the funnel for a lot of his sites are kind of the funnel for what we do. So I'll let him end off.
Greg.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. I haven't been able to figure out Snapchat, but or TikTok, but you can play a little under a minute on there. But
yes,
and SoundCloud. The music is all on his SoundCloud.
If you want to hear the music, there's some stuff on SoundCloud. We're just we're not going to stop. We're going to keep going.
That's great. I love what you guys are doing. musically. And Kevin, I mean, you tolerate me, so I tolerate you. So, I mean, so this is good. This is positive, right? It's a net plus. Once again, guys, thanks for coming on the show tonight. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this has been great. Everyone in the chat, thanks for showing up. I hope you enjoyed the show. I got a lot out of it. I can say that. And once again, great music, great art, great video. This has been very enjoyable for me.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.